Hello team, hope everybody's doing well today. For today's video, we're going to be talking about some cards that you could use to get business credit. In other words, to get business credit financing. This is the first time you're joining me. My name is Mel. Welcome to Team U Credit and Finance. So for today's video, we're focusing on actually getting business credit cards, okay, where we could get some funding another way. So I have a list here of some business credit cards. Some of them charge an annual fee and some of them are literally zero. You don't have to pay anything to get the card. But just bear in mind that even though some of them are zero, you might have to, have different requirements. So I'm going to basically go in detail about these cards and what the benefits are of having these business credit cards. So I literally put a list together of 5 business credit cards. All right. So before diving into the first card, I want to talk about PG again. And for those of you that haven't watched the other videos and learned what it is, PG is personally guaranteeing. And what a PG does is that once you get a business credit card, whether it's a business credit card or it's a business loan, and if for any reason you default or there's any issue or the business close, the bank or the lender needs to, make you guarantee that you are still going to pay that debt back and you're still responsible for the debt. That's what PG means. So just bear in mind that when you apply for any of these cards, you might have to sign something that you will basically PG or personal guarantee for the cards. Now, I think that I want you to look at if you apply for any of these cards, you need to look at what rewards these cards give. Now, when you apply for credit cards, whether it be business or personal credit cards, a lot of them tend to have a lot of rewards that you can get with them. Some offer cashback rewards, some offer travel rewards, or some offer, other deals. But there's a multitude of rewards that are offered with a lot of these cards. Just like it is in personal, it's the same way in business. So let's dive right into it. And let's analyze the cards that I thought, were decent to apply for, that you could start off to get business credit. So I know I mentioned that I have 5 cards. The cards that I have, these are unsecured cards, okay? The first one that I want to touch on is the American Express business card. Now there's different variations of the card, but for the sake of the name of it, the name of it is American Express. So this card has an $895 annual fee. And this is current as of today in the month of October 2025. So if you're seeing this a year or 2 or a month later, I'm talking about currently now what you can apply for with this American Express business card. So with this business card, you basically go on Amex, you could apply for this one. Now there's different versions of the business card depending what are suitable for your business needs and what you need to buy. So this one is coming in at an $895 annual fee. And again, different bank, different requirements, they are going to charge for getting that card. So depending what your business needs are, if this is the first business credit card you're applying for, maybe you want to apply for a card that doesn't have an annual fee. But I've always heard the rumor that with Amex or American Express, whether it be their business card, their line of credit, that the amounts that they give you, they're really, really high. So you have to kind of weigh, is it worth me paying the $895 or whatever the annual fees on different credit cards to get that Amex card if I could get approved for it? All right, so that's the first one. The second one that you could possibly apply for is a Chase Inc. It's a Chase Inc. Business Preferred Card. Now that one, the annual fee for that one is coming in at $95. Now with the $95, again, depending on your business needs, would it be suitable for you to use that card? You're going to have to sit down and, and tally up and decide whether or not it's worth paying the $95, depending on what you're going to be using that business credit card for. Okay? And most of these business credit cards, they allow you to draw. You could also get cash over the cards depending, if you need to meet payroll or whatever you need to do. So again, look at how much you could possibly get approved for based on your business needs and see if you're willing to pay that fee for, the card, which is $95. All right, so now let's look at some cards that are zero to apply for. They could come in card form or they could also be like a line of credit. But for the sake of today's video, we're talking about an actual business credit card, having a physical card. Now, again, if this is the first time you're joining me, my name is Mel. This is Team U Credit and Finance, where we're talking about obtaining business credit, preferably a business credit card, so we can have a card to, make purchases and allow the cash to flow better in our businesses. So looking at the zero credit cards, the first one that I have is Brex Business. Now, Brex has been around for a while. Brex offers a line of credit. Brex also has a literal credit card where you, the business owner, will get the card, and they give you a certain amount to spend. Now, for the sake of this card, there's no annual fee. They have a zero annual fee. Again, when you apply for the card, you're going to read the fine prints and you're going to see if this card, is going to be suitable for you to use. Sometimes the cards might not offer any annual fee, but maybe later down the line, depending what you signed up for, it changes. So again, you're going to read your fine print. But if you're a new business owner and you just want to get your feet wet and you just want to get a card, you could apply for the Brex business card. And I know that with Brex, they, of course, they look at how your business is doing. They look at your business bank account. So this is one, if you've been having your transactions in your business bank account, showing, your revenue, showing what's coming in, what's going out, Brex might be an option for you at $0 annual fee. Now this one, the next one that I could tell you about is called the Bank of America Business Advantage Card. So I know personally with Bank of America, they do offer a $0 annual fee. So you don't pay any annual fee for this business card. And again, just like with the Amex card, there are different variations of the card. But for the most part, this is the Bank of America business card. And when you apply for the card, you would see exactly, again, what you need, how much would be put into this card, like how much you'd get for funding. All right, because at the end of the day, we need to ensure that we're getting enough for funding. We need to ensure that we're getting enough money on our card, right? Just bear in mind that many times when you apply for business credit cards, it's not really the amount that you want or the amount that you think your business needs. Many times they give you an amount that they think is suitable to start as a new business owner, okay, or as an ongoing business owner. So you want to take that into consideration. But personally, if it's me and I'm just starting to obtain business credit and I'm trying to get business credit, I don't mind starting with a card that's $0 annual fee, as long as I basically get my feet wet and I get some type of credit for my business. All right. The next one that we're looking at is the PNC Cash Rewards Visa. Okay, this is the business credit card for PNC. Now, I also know that PNC offers a line of products. And with PNC, this one is at $0 annual fee also. Now, again, you're going to check, you're going to shop around, you're going to compare them, and you're going to see if the $0 card is for you. I mentioned before that the Amex is at $8.95 and the Chase Ink is at $95. Now, again, all that glitter is not gold. Doesn't mean that because a card is $0 annual fee, that might be the best option for you. So again, when you compare them and you line them up and you see what they're giving back, that's when you're going to basically decide if you want to, if you want to invest in getting this card. For me, I just want to get started and I just want to ensure that my card, is suitable, that I can use it to, fund expenses in my business. Now, so far, I've mentioned 5. I gave you Amex Express. I gave you Chase Ink Business Preferred. I gave you the $0 ones. I gave you Brex Business. I gave you the Bank of America Business Advantage. And I also gave you the PNC Cash Rewards Visa. Now, I also want to talk about, another way to get a business credit card to start. Now, let's say you applied for the $0 ones to start. I would start with the $0 ones. Again, I'm a new business owner or I'm a struggling business owner. I don't have a lot of money, so I don't want to pay any fees. If I started with the $0 ones and I couldn't get the $0 ones, maybe, who knows, I could apply for the ones that charge. And if I was not able to get those either, what I would do is I would basically do a secured business credit card. Secured business credit cards are a great way to start. It's a great way to, get funding for your business. Now, the only thing, just like with the Amex and the Chase, Ink Preferred Business, you basically have to come up with some money to fund it. Now, depending who the lender is and what the requirements are that you're going to research, they might tell you to start with $1,000. They might say start with $5,000. They might say start with $500. You don't really care what it is. If you can afford it and you can do it, then you're going to try to open a secured business credit card. Now, let's compare the secured business credit card to the personal secured card, your own personal credit. See, the same rules apply when it comes to business credit for cards. It doesn't really matter. The only difference is that with personal credit and business credit is that when you apply for business credit, you do the PG, you do the personal guarantee. So if it's in a case where you cannot get the business credit card, whether the ones with zero fee or the ones that charge, then your best option or choice would be for you to get the secured card. Okay, with the secured business credit card, and then you fund the secured business credit card yourself. Funding the secured business credit card for yourself is a great way to start, and it's another channel of opening to get a business credit card. Only thing is you got to come up with the money yourself. You don't care if they want you to fund 500. You don't care if they want you to fund $1,000, because when you fund that secured credit card yourself, that secured credit business card, this is a great opportunity for you to show a lender that you can keep up with the card. You did make your payments on time. It's a good way for you to show them that I'm a good candidate for an unsecured business credit card. So that is what a lot of business owners do when they're trying to build credit. At this point, the whole point of getting this credit card, whether secured or unsecured, is to build credit, because there's going to come a time in your business where you're going to easily be able to get business credit without having to come out your pocket, without having to secure a card, right? You just really need to have at least one card, and the one card that you have, you showed consistency, therefore developing your credibility. Once you showed consistency and develop your credibility, showing that, okay, you know what, when this lender gave me this business credit card, I was able to basically fund, I was able either to fund it or I was able to keep up with it. I was able to, make my payments every month. When you do that, you show them that you're able to manage that business credit card. So it's not going to be no big deal for a lender to give you an actual business credit card once you apply for it. All right. Those are just some of the ways. If you're having a hard time getting a business credit card, whether it be you're paying zero interest annual fee, or you're paying the $8.95 or the $95, whatever it is, because again, different credit cards have different annual fees. If your annual fee is zero, good for you. If your annual fee is $95 or $8.95, you're going to decide if that's the one that's going to work best for you to apply for. The whole goal of this is just to get your feet wet and to get one business credit card, whether secured or unsecured. And once you make those payments consistently, in other words, you're showing the lender your credibility. So it's all about credibility and that you know how to manage funds in your business. So I'm here to tell you, don't get discouraged if you cannot get an initial business credit card. There's ways around it. There's different avenues to build business credit. The point of you getting a business credit card is to be able to build business credit. We must build business credit because business credit allows us to have money in our accounts that we could, pay for our supplies. We don't have to worry about, if we're going to have enough money to buy certain things that we need for our business. As I always emphasize, we don't need to be stressed out or not if we have money in the business. And a lot of business owners don't know that there is business credit out there. A lot of business owners tend to want to fund the businesses themselves. You don't need to do that. Any reputable company always has a way to fund their business, because we take it on the premise that, when the business makes money, I'm going to be able to, fund whatever credit. I'm going to be able to pay back any credit that I initially borrowed to fund my business, right? And I also mentioned that even after getting the business credit card, if you're having a hard time securing that type of funding, you could always opt to get a line of credit. You could also opt in to getting a business loan. But the first thing is you want to be able to have that credit card in your hand. So when you have that business credit card, you could make your purchases. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you started your funding journey yet? Have you tried to get a business credit card? Do you have a business credit card? And if yes, how were you able to get that business credit card? If you've been a business owner for a long time, were you able to, start with a secured credit card, secured business credit card, and then graduated and then got an unsecured one? How did you do it? In other words, how were you able to get your business credit card? And what are some tips that you would give any business owner that's struggling trying to get a business credit card? Because we know that a business credit card is not easy to get. It's not. A lot of people tell you, get business credit. Start with this, start with that. But like all credit, they're going to run your profile. They're going to check those 3 bureaus that I mentioned, such as they're going to check your Dun & Bradstreet. They're going to check your Equifax business. They're going to check your Experian business. And again, It's primary that you have an establishment with your business credit reports. It's primary that you know what's on your business credit reports. For example, if you have your Dun and Bradstreet and you've had it for a while, a lender can easily check your Dun and Bradstreet and see that you've had this number consistently for a while and that you've been making your payments on time. Right. So I know it's kind of cliche to say, okay, you know, you have to have your business credit reports and you have to have good credit in your business. But like with any credit, if you don't have good credit in your business, then it's going to be very difficult for you to get those business credit cards. Okay? Again, if this is the first time you're joining me, my name is Mel. This is Team U Credit and Finance. And for today's video, we are talking about obtaining business credit cards, how to get them, and the steps. Everything is a step. If you want to get the business credit card, you have to basically, find a way how to get that funding. So with that said, people, as I said, let me know, what your journey is towards getting your business credit. Have you been able to get business credit? And if you have, let us know how you've been able to get business credit. How are you doing it? Did you have a specific lender that you use? Now, I gave you literally 5 lenders here, or 5 banks, or 5 places that gives business credit. All right? No, too much information is never enough, right? These are just the 5 or the main ones that I know a lot of people use when they want to try to get business credit, right? If you've been, running your net 30 accounts, you've been doing them as a new business owner, you built up some type of credibility, you've had your business bank statement showing how you've been working in your business, then it shouldn't really be that difficult for you to get business credit. And I also want to add that when you apply for these business credit cards, if the first time you apply for these business credit cards and you don't get the business credit cards right away, please don't get discouraged. Just like with personal credit, you have to apply and reapply again. And many times when you apply for credit, for the sake of this video, we're talking about business credit. Maybe what you initially applied for, you didn't meet the requirements. Okay, maybe the lender was not able to verify that you've had an account specifically for a long time. The lender wasn't able to verify that you've been paying your bills consistently. Lender wasn't able to verify that you've had a specific account and you made your payments on time. Whatever it is, many times when you apply, they still give you a little report or a little piece of paper and they show you and tell you exactly what you're missing or what you needed to qualify for business credit. Okay, I know that many times when people apply for business credit, the banks or the lenders want to see that you're having a specific amount of revenue coming in. In other words, if you're going there and you're applying for a $10,000 or $20,000 business credit card, if your business is not generating a certain amount of revenue each month, is not coming in, they're not going to qualify you for what you're not making. You understand what I'm saying? Because it kind of makes sense. No bank is going to give you more than they think you could spend because it's going to put you in trouble. So you want to be able to, as I said, if you get rejected, see specifically exactly what was missing or what made you not qualify for that card. And then what you do is you work on it. They tell you most times, if not all the time, they say, okay, you're a good candidate, your business credit score is good, but you need to show more revenue. You need to show, more transactions. All right. Those are the things that these lenders tell you specifically to qualify you. And I know they'll give you a certain amount of time when you could reapply for that credit. All right. So don't get discouraged. Just, apply. As I said, Google a few of them. Speak to other business owners and see what type of business credit cards they have or where they're getting their funding from. Hopefully the person's not a gatekeeper and they could show you and tell you exactly where you can get the funding or get the business credit cards from. Business credit cards are a wonderful, wonderful way to grow your business. It takes the stress of you having to worry about buying your supplies. I also want to mention that when you get business credit cards, please ensure that they offer certain rewards. If you have a business where you do a lot of traveling, you want to apply for a business credit card that gives traveling rewards. Or you want to apply for a business credit card where if it's, if your business is not a one-man show or there's other people in your business, you want to apply for a credit card that basically gives, multiple cards. So, they could have it to make purchases or to run the business. Again, weigh your options. Don't just settle for the first card that you get. Don't just take the first card that you're offered because you just want to say or you just want to have a business credit card. Level it out. Again, I know you're the one looking for credit, but Let them compete for your business, especially if your business is flowing and your business is doing well, right? If you have a business that's having a lot of money coming, a lot of revenue, sales are good, everything is doing well, trust me, lenders will compete for your business. All right. But in any event, beautiful people, team, I thank you so much for tuning into this video. Again, if this is helpful or you know anybody that's trying to get business credit, please comment, like, share the information. A lot of information is always necessary. No information can be too much when it is something that's going to allow us to benefit in the long run. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And with that said, people, hopefully get your business credit.